Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, the 22nd of April, and Meeka is doing great. As you can see, she's eating. And I always feed my lactating mums puppy food, just so that they've got the extra calories, vitamins, and minerals to be able to get these guys as plump as they are. Yeah, they're just so darn cute. They were born um, April 15th, so they're 8 days old now, or they were born a week ago, but it's the 8th day. And I called my wonderful vet clinic, and they are so jam-packed that I can't get them in for their checkup or vaccinations until they're somewhere around 9-10 weeks old. But they will be dewormed regularly. I deworm them 3 times, and you never know, you might end up with a puppy that's pretty much house trained, because our last litter, Susie, had 2 babies. Well, she had 4, but only 2 survived. One was not alive when it was born, and the other one just never latched on at all. And she actually potty trained Loki and Harley. She would take them outside. Well, I'd take them outside with her, and she would start licking them and getting them to go outside every time we were out there. So it was really good. And anytime that we were in the house, it's like she knew, because she was licking them while they were on a pee pad. So that was great. And Harley has had a couple whoopsies, only when it was really cold, because she didn't want to go outside. But other than that, she's doing great. You never know, because I will take them out on the deck, as weather permitting, once they're walking around and big enough. But they're so darn adorable. Oh. His mummy sleeps like that too. The girl, yeah, this is one of the girls. She sleeps like that too. A lot, just over on her belly, flat out. And they're big enough, they don't do the puppy pile anymore. They go off on their own almost all the time. They'll end up, like, they just finished eating, and Mom started eating her food. So they're starting to move. They'll start to get away from each other because they're starting to get too warm. And this is the other little girl. Yeah, and this is the other little girl. He's so beautiful. Their coloring is just awesome. This little guy is dark brown, like a mahogany. and brindle, and brindle right straight through there. He's a light brindle in his markings. They're all very, very beautiful. And I can tell already, this little girl is built like her mom. That little guy and that little guy is built like daddy. And this little girl. But they're so chunky because Meeka has always produced so much milk that they've always gotten their milk bellies right away. I don't think any of my mums have ever had a problem producing milk, but I always give them the milk formula, powdered milk formula, for lactating mums, and in case you need to supplement because mom's milk doesn't come in, it's good for the puppies too. It has the colostrum in it, but I don't give it to the puppies. I like the puppies to have mom's milk, so I give it to mom so that she's got lots of calcium and everything to be able to make sure that she's not suffering at all by feeding them so well. Hey, Mike. I hope everybody's having a great day. I love them when they're tiny like this too, but I can hardly wait till they get up and start moving around a little. And their eyes open, and their ears open. Because as you can see, their ears are there, but the hole isn't open. And of course, their eyes aren't open at all either. About 10 to 14 days, everybody's eyes and ears should be opened up. But I just thought I'd let everybody know, in case anybody was hoping for one, there's going to be a delay in pickup simply because I cannot let any of them go until they've had their vet health check and their vaccination. And then sometimes I will let them go the next day, and because they'll be completely done deworming, it'll probably be okay for them to go the next day because all they'll be having is the vaccination. Because normally I vaccinate and deworm the last time at 7 weeks. So they get dewormed at 3, 5, and 7 weeks. And then they get their vaccination at 7 weeks. And that way, by the time they're 8 weeks old, they have recovered from the vaccine. Because sometimes, your baby gets a little bit of a temperature or a sore area where they get their vaccine as not a newborn, but I think it's like 4, 6, and 8 months, something like that. They all get actual humans get vaccinated, so they don't always feel great the next day either. But because they're going to be a little bit older and they won't have the dewormer to have to deal with either, they'll be able to go the next day. But only if they're okay through the night and the next morning, kind of thing. But if any of them, if we've arranged for pickup for the next day, and the fur baby's not ready to go, I'll text you and let you know, because I wouldn't have you come here and say, oh no, you can't pick them up now. But I'm pretty sure everything will be great, because they will be, I'm pretty sure 10 weeks old when they get their vaccine. But I will announce in the next video exactly when their vaccine is and when they would be able to be picked up as well. But that's a ways off. No big rush with anything. I haven't even put them up for sale yet. There's no ad or anything. In fact, I'm going to put the ad up really late on these ones. Maybe once they're a week before they have to go, a week before they're ready to go. Because they really do go very quickly. Last spring we had 2 litters, so there was 12 of them. And I put the ad up at about 10:30 at night in the evening. And I had to finally turn my phone off at 1:30, just past 1:30 in the morning, because I was just being bombarded with notifications that somebody on Kijiji was interested in a puppy. And by the next morning, I was up maybe an hour and answered some of the messages, and they were all gone. So that was 12, and they go really fast. We've got puppies in Quebec all the way to Saskatchewan, in Saskatchewan. So they're just so adorable. And Mummy is such a good mummy. Waiting to get back in. She sits on the on the edge of the fencing, until she's ready to go back in. And Mum is very warm. She's a really good lap dog, loves sitting on your lap, will sit there forever, but she's a little furnace and she'll heat you up severely. That comes from her dad. He does the same thing. Because Mum, laying over there, is actually gets chilly. Doesn't like getting her feet wet. There's Dad. Well, Mikey is Grandpa to these guys. To these. This is Grandpa. Hey, Mike. And he's so good with the babies. But Meeka doesn't like anybody near them, so once she sees him here, she's going to want to come jumping in right away. So I have to keep him out. And Susie is absolutely baby obsessed. She feeds hers till they're 7, 8 weeks old. And like, we kept Harley, which was from her last litter, and I had to wrap her up in a tensor. Mike, get out of there. Meeka's gonna get mad at you. See, Meeka's up and looking. Mike, get out. You're gonna make Mummy nervous. I had to wrap Susie up with a tensor so that she couldn't feed her babies anymore, because every time I wasn't looking, she was over letting Harley suckle. And there's Harley. She's the spitting image of her mom, body-wise and hair-wise, but she's exactly her daddy's color. Eh? That's Susie and Mikey, and that's their daughter. Meeka. This is Meeka's daughter too, Sarah. There's Grandma snoring. There's Daddy, all curled up in his toy box, snoozing away. Parker. Daddy to these guys. He's 7 pounds. Mom is 14.4, I think. 14 for sure, though. So I hope everybody has a great day.